Page 60, the Riddle. 2/4 time, 2 flats, a B flat and an E flat. They're introducing you here to the B flat major scale. 2 flats. The first flat in the key signature is always a B flat. We've had F major already. Well, the second flat in a key signature is always an E flat. So those two, if you see 2 of them, you instantly know which ones they are because they're always in the same order. It's a different order than the sharps are in, but nevertheless, it's always the same order. I would encourage you to go do my scale video on B flat major. Learn it 1 octave up and down. Do the beginner part. Do the accents and the technique and everything I explain in there. It's a little tricky. At the beginning here, we have eighth notes. 1 and 2 and. We come in on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and. So, and then it's just eighth notes. 1 and 2 and. That last 2 measures there on page 60. 1 and 2 and 1. And they want a third finger on that last note because that prepares you for the next notes coming here. So again, page 60. 1 and 2 and. Third finger, come down, and lift up. They want thumb on that. You don't have to. You can use second finger here. So you don't have to put your hand up in this area. Just second finger. And then here, reach up with third finger. Here. And third, fourth. We're just spreading out a little bit. You got to do that sometimes. So that's fine. So again, those eighth notes. 3, 4. So now they're telling you to spread out. And again, I'd lift up into the same thing. And now the fifth finger. You're lifting up between each of these phrases anyway. Second finger down. Third finger. Here. You're out of this 5-finger position stuff. You're just going to be moving around and who knows what. It's whatever the music needs. That's what we do. In the left hand, you have a B flat D, then a B flat E flat, and then the eighth notes. And the fingering, they want you to come up here and just move up here. I don't care for that. I don't like moving around, and this is awkward to do that. Might have to do it sometimes, but we don't have to do that here. I would recommend on the eighth notes you play the first one with third finger. You're here and then here. Third finger and then cross over with third finger again. To me that's much safer and easier than what they're suggesting. So again, the first line there, here and then third finger. And then you have an eighth rest, so you can come down. And that A is a half note. Hold it down as you play the E flat, and then here. And the next line, reach down with a little finger, and then the E flat F, and again. And then now they want 1 and 3. That's okay, I guess. Because they want you to do fourth finger again. But again, I think you can do it with third finger. Just finger it the way you did the last measure of page 60. Just third finger. Here, with 3, 2, and then like that. I think that works fine. Then put the hands together. That B flat right there is by itself. The left hand has to come up, everything comes up. Again, lift everything up, the B flat's by itself. And the D's by itself. Here. Take it as slow as you need to, but get to the point where the beats are nice and steady. There's no hesitations anywhere. And then you can think about speeding it up. But as far as the articulation goes, there's slurs. Follow the slurs here. Here in the left hand you can lift up here to start that slur, but the right hand's staying down. Then they both come up. So follow the slurs in each hand. They may not quite be the same. These slurs, like in the last measure, page 60. For the left hand, lift up before you start the slur. So there's a little silence there. Even though the right hand is staying down because you're in the middle of a phrase, lift up the left hand so you can hear these independent slurs going on in the hands. Then we go back and add the dynamics. Not a lot going on in dynamics. At the first time you play it moderately loud. That's the MF. You'll have to decide what moderately loud is, but that's the right hand. Keep the left hand soft. I would come down there. You're ending a phrase, so kind of come down a little bit. It's an interpretive thing. And then back up to medium loud. And you can come down a little bit there too. You're ending a phrase. Now they give you a crescendo. Don't go. You're going to go up to loud, but don't get loud until the second measure of the next line. See, take your time. That's where you want to be loud. And then come back. And you can come back down to a medium soft there if you want. But when you do the eighth note, that's medium loud. And then at the end you get softer. Then when you repeat it back to the beginning, now you're soft. That's the right hand. Now the left hand has to be very soft. And you do the whole thing on the soft level. So the first time you're up around the medium loud level, but you can get a little louder and softer as you do it. Just stay in that area. And the second time when you play it, you're down in the soft level. And again, you can get a little louder and softer, but just stay in that area, the soft area, the second time. That's what they mean. Speed-wise, somewhere in the middle. You'll have to decide. Get to know it really well, and you're feeling the dynamics, and you get to feeling the tempo. Now they've added pedal on here, so let's talk about the pedal, because the pedal can really mess things up if we're not careful. I'm going to play the notes and then the pedal. So the pedal is going to lag behind the notes as far as synchronizing things. So here. Now I have a problem here at the beginning because they don't want you to push the pedal down until the first full measure. That means those first two Fs are disconnected. I can't connect them. So I'm going to suggest push the pedal down right after you play the pickup beat. So we connect the Fs. The next measure, when I change the pedal, I'm going to play the notes first and then change the pedal. So the pedal is going to overlap just a little bit. And here, lift the pedal up before you play the eighth notes in the left hand. Then you can pedal this. I don't know why, but you can. Okay, and then lift up before you play the pickup beat, because we want some silence between the phrases. And again. Here you're changing at every beat. And don't pedal the first measure, the second line. Lift up before you play the pickup beat. And again, before. I don't know about this. I would, if you're going to do that, pedal at each beat. At least clear it out a little bit. This is too mushy. I don't need all that. Ugh. And that left hand is tied there. You don't play them again. Hang on to them. And there. And then lift up before you repeat. But again, pedal that 16th, or pedal the pickup beat. Now, one thing I do on the measures with like the, look at the last, let's see. Go up to page 61, first line, last measure, up here. On this type of a pattern, and you may not be these notes, but it'll be this. I don't pedal the first half beat, so I don't push the pedal down until I play the quarter note in the right hand. Here, so back on page 60, look at this here, right there. So I don't pedal down until I play the B flat. This way I'm not catching both of those. So again, I waited until I played the F. Again, here, third line down, I don't pedal until I play the F. And the last line, last second measure, don't pedal until you play the. And it cleans it up a little bit. I mean, we could make some other alterations. You have to listen very carefully to the pedal and the effect it's having, and change it if you don't like the sound of it. These are only suggestions on these pedals, and what I'm telling you is just suggestions, so it's up to you and what you like to listen to. Now, if you just legato pedal it all the way through, then that tells me you're not listening. I'd like to play it with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics, but I will do the repeat. And on that fermata at the end here, 1.5 counts, I'm just going to add another beat to that and then go on. So I'm going to give us 2.5 counts, ready and go, and then we go. So let's play it together slowly. This gives you a chance to double check that you have the right notes and rhythms at least. Ready and go. Hold, repeat. Hold off.